Hey, we appreciate you joining the show this morning because everybody's going through a lot of stuff with this coronavirus. And, on one hand, you're talking about dealing with the disease and how to stay safe. And a lot of people are facing financial difficulties because they have been let go from their jobs, can't work, don't know how to, Jini, help us out.
Well, it's funny, like you said, there's enough stress about the virus and to be stressed about money, too. But I have some good news for folks. So let me tell you what relief we have for people. Number one, what the federal government did, they went from suspending interest on federal student loans to now you don't have to pay your federally backed student loans at all right now.
Oh, wow.
For 60 days. That's really, really good news. It's for 60 days with the possibility of that being extended if necessary. So good news for some folks. However, people who have private student loans, nothing has come out for any relief to private student loans. So those are people who have loans directly with a bank. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll have some good news about that. Good news about mortgages. Several banks like Wells Fargo, TD Bank, Quicken Loans, Bank of America, Ally Bank are allowing customers to skip payments right now.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yes, you can
skip payments.
You can skip payments completely. So this is what is called a forbearance. It is not forgiveness, it's forbearance. And what that means is you don't have to pay right now, but the payments that you should have been making now are just going to get added to the end of your loan. So it's not like you never have to make the payment again. You just don't have to make payments for now. Gotcha. Interest is still adding up. It's still accruing on your loan. So only thing you need to do now is just contact your lender.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. But what you said last week is really, really important. You can't just not pay the bill. You got to get on the phone and make contact with the lender and anybody else. Recap some of the stuff you were saying last week as well.
Let me tell you something. We are not on vacation right now. This is a season of action right now. So I need people to get on the phone and call everybody they owe money to. Credit card company, utility company, auto loan, mortgage, landlord, car note, whoever you owe. And if you cannot pay, you have to communicate because everyone in the whole world knows what's going on right now.
Right.
So please take advantage of that. The other good news is most of the major banks who finance cars are allowing the same thing. They're allowing people to skip payments right now. But you're not going to get that automatically. You have to sign up for that. For the student loans, you don't have to sign up for that. That's just going to be automatic. But for these mortgage and the car note payments, you have to sign up for that. You'd be crazy not to take advantage of that.
Jini, what about the IRS? So say you owe the IRS and you make payments or you had a payment due and you've been affected financially. What can you do to defer payments or have the IRS give you some kind of forgiveness before you get in trouble?
Well, you're going to have to treat them like you treat a normal creditor, and which is communicate with them. Now, you're going to have to be extra patient because obviously, they are really, really, really busy right now. But you're going to have to contact them, too. So those are for folks who are already on a payment plan with the IRS and they cannot afford to pay. So for those of us who have not filed yet this year, we heard that the filing deadline got moved from April 15th. Now it's July 15th. But let me tell you something. If you know you're doing refund, please go ahead and file right now, so you can get that money coming back to you. And if you know that you owe, don't even worry about that. Even if you file right now, you're not going to have to make your payments right now. So do what you need to do. Now, the only thing that's a little confusing even for me about the federal tax deadline being pushed back to July 15th, what are all the states doing? So, right. I live in Georgia. I went to Georgia's website, the Georgia Department of Revenue website. It doesn't say anything about their deadline being changed.
Wow.
And so that is a little confusing. So everyone needs to go to their state's website to see if the filing requirement has or has not been changed.
Right.
And if you can file go ahead and file right now. If you're home, you have some time, go ahead and get that done. But do not assume that your state moved their deadline too. I'm assuming some states are going to make the adjustment. I'm not sure which ones are doing what.
Wow.
Last question I have is, can you give me any advice for entrepreneurs out there? A lot of us out here that have our own businesses, a lot of them have new and budding businesses. So what are they to do to kind of save their business in this time of economic strain?
Well, here's a few things that I suggest people to, and I understand the pain people are in because I'm an entrepreneur too. I've spent a lot of time recently on the SBA's website, sba.gov. Tremendous amount of resources out there, and I know 3 people personally who've already filled out their paperwork to get an SBA loan. People are not playing because they're giving very, very, very low interest rate loans, but you have to apply for that. So take advantage of any resources. People who live in different cities, if you have any, like for example, like in Atlanta, we have something called Invest Atlanta. That's something that's more city-based. They have tons of resources for small businesses. So every city needs to take advantage of, look to see what they're doing to help the small businesses economically. And then what the small businesses have to do is, what do you have? You know, how much money do you have? How much runway do you have based on your expenses? And then you're going to have to begin to make some decisions on how do you begin to cut back. One thing I've had to do is engage my employees differently to say, hey, what can we do differently? Because you have to think really out of the box right now.
Right.
And I think we need to have a longer range of view, particularly business owners, to say, hey, it might take us a little longer than what we hope or think. And I don't want people making very short-term plans. Oh, we'll be back up and going April. We'll be back up and going in May. I'd have a longer range plan, because if you think about it, Ricky, if you have a longer range plan and you don't need it, at least you're already prepared.
Right.
Versus just saying, okay, we're cool, everything's going to be back popping again in a few weeks. If it's not, I don't want people to be disappointed and then scratching their head and afraid and have no idea of what to do.
Right, exactly.
Right.
All right, Jini, let everybody, I really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for jumping on with us. Let people know, because when people don't have to pay certain bills or whatever, they got more money in their pocket. And because we and this is only the beginning, it's going to get, a lot more stressful for people, because they're going to lock stuff down for a long time. So every dime counts, Jini.
Every single dime counts, and I need people to have a plan for that extra money that they're going to have because they're not making payments. You want to be really smart with it, and I'm so glad you said that. Please plan for a longer term. If you don't need the plan, cool, but you already have a plan.
There it is. Jini, let everybody know how you can be reached.
Okay, please reach out to me at Jini Thornton. That's JiniThornton. Thank you for the work y'all do.